I've been arrested, I think I've been arrested about 50 times, maybe more. I was in Castlereagh, I was in Castlereagh Interrogation Centre more than 20 times, probably about 26, 27 times, and just have been arrested in the street. When you get brought into Castlereagh, you could be held for anything up to 7 days incognito. But what the British Army could arrest you in the street and hold you for 4 hours at a time. They could arrest you and bring you into their barracks and interrogate you for 4 hours, and then they either had to hand you over to the police or release you. And I must have been arrested 40, 50 times by the British Army, just being lifted in the street. We just found out that my wife was pregnant. She was suffering from vertigo, and my daughter had just started nursery school. So I would stay out of the house at night, but I would come into the house about 9 o'clock in the morning, 8:30, 9, because you knew they weren't going to. The raids were generally at about 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. So I get into the house at approximately 8:45, 8:45. I got into the house, and I was only in the house a couple of minutes when I heard the street being sealed off. And I said to myself, this isn't right. So I looked out the window and I saw the street being sealed halfway up and at the top. So I ran out the back to try and get out the entry, and I heard them coming up the entry, so I did, up and down the entry both ways. So I came back in again, and I was going to go up the stairs into the attic and down through neighbours' houses to drop down behind the cordon. When I was running up the stairs, my young daughter shouted, "Daddy!" And this policeman put a gun through the window and aimed up the stairs at me, and he said, "Come down, open the door, I'll shoot." So I walked down, let them in, and I just knew, I had this feeling, because I was only out of Castlereagh 3 days. I just had this feeling that there's something wrong here. With a level, normally they just come with 2 or 3 vehicles to arrest you. This was full-scale operation. There was maybe 40 or 50 police and soldiers, and I went to myself, there's something wrong here. I was brought into Castlereagh. I was left for about 4 hours, and then I was brought down for interrogation. And as soon as I went in for the interrogation, the police were laughing. They were really, really upbeat. And one of them said to me, "Long runs a fox." And I just looked at him, and he says, "You're going away for a long time, son." And it just became obvious then. They brought the informer in, Christopher Black. He made a statement against me, so he did. I was charged after 7 days, spent 18 months on remand, and then I was sentenced on the 3rd of August, 1983, to life imprisonment. And this man that was arrested was a man called Christopher Black, who I never met in my life. And when he walked into the room to me, I went, "Who is he?" The information he gave on me was totally incorrect. He gave a wrong name, he gave a wrong address. It was obvious that he didn't know me. A policeman actually admitted in court, giving Black my name and address. He actually admitted that we told him who this man was, and Black didn't know him, didn't know who he was, but we told him who he was. And I still got life imprisonment. At first it's a shock, so it is, when the prospect of life imprisonment, of not seeing your children growing up, of not being with your partner. And for about, I would say, a couple of months, it was a real shock, so it was. Then I began to realise, look, you can't live like this. You have to live with, you have to live in the time that you're in, and you have to get real. You can't imagine what's going on outside. You are where you are, and you have to make the best of it. It had devastating effects on my wife. My wife's still coming to terms with what happened to me. The 2 older children understand, because it affected them so much. So I felt I had a lot of explaining to do, to explain the position that I took. And they understand it, and I think that both of them respect me for it. They probably know that what I did cost them a lot of their childhood, and that they didn't grow up with a father. But I think they are mature enough to realise that that I felt that I was doing the right thing and that I wasn't acting for myself. I was acting for something that was more greater and tangible in the wider scheme of things. But I don't think the whole thing was worth it, to be honest with you. Too many people languished in jail for too long. Too many innocent people were killed. And you're no closer to an Irish Republic or an Irish Socialist Republic than you were 30 years ago. And I don't see a united Ireland in my lifetime. But I'm not disappointed about that. I think if we have equality here, and we're treated with full equality, then for me that would amount to a united Ireland.